The first step in joining a WebEx meeting is to find the invite to the meeting itself and open it up. Here you can see I have a meeting invite in the form of a calendar invite inside of Outlook. You may also have received the invite via email if you're using some other email platform. A few things to point out. There is a single green join button. This button will allow us to jump directly into the meeting. I'm going to press that in just a second. I want to point out the meeting number or the access code. Keep this in mind. If you dial in with a phone for audio only, you may need this. There is a meeting password. The nice thing about this is if you were specifically invited, the meeting password is embedded in this join meeting link as well. If you're calling in from a phone only perspective, look for the dial-in number information here. And if you're dialing from a SIP or a Skype video endpoint, the meeting number is followed by @webex.com from a SIP dialing perspective. Let's go ahead and hit the Join Meeting button now. You will be cross-launched to your default browser. You will get a screen that looks something like this. It will have the meeting title, the time and the date of the meeting, and it will say Starting Cisco WebEx Meetings. A couple things could happen from here. If you've never used Cisco WebEx Meetings before, you will be prompted to download the desktop app for Cisco Meetings. If this does not happen, you can actually download it manually by clicking the Download It Now link at the bottom of the screen. If you'd prefer not to download it, you can use the Join from your browser option, which is right here, and this will essentially enable the meeting directly in your browser, no software installation required. If you have the WebEx desktop app installed, you'll be greeted with a screen that looks like this. The name of the meeting, the time of the meeting. You'll also have an avatar if you've actually gone and configured that inside of the WebEx settings. But most importantly at the bottom, you'll have a couple other options. The Join Meeting button, again, that green button is your way to start. You have a mute and unmute option, so this is for your audio. It's good to, in my opinion, start with your audio muted in case you're joining a meeting that's already in progress. To start your video, you can simply unmute your video as well. Here, if I unmute it, you will see a preview of myself. There we go. If I mute the video again, the preview goes away. So those are the video and audio mute options. There are actually multiple ways to join the audio as well. So the first is to use your computer. This uses the speakers and microphone in your computer. You'll notice over here there are some settings, so you can actually test these settings. You can see microphone is picking me up. I have some audio shown on the VU meter here. Likewise, if I want to test my speakers, I can hit the test button and audio will play and we'll join the meeting. The window will expand and in a second we'll see the participants in the meeting already. You can see Piggy Banks is a user that is already in the meeting and Piggy Banks is the active speaker, so this user has the floor from a video perspective. Again, inside of the meeting, we have our mute button, we have our video toggle as well. If I need to share content, I can do so with the Share Content button. In this instance, I'm actually the host, so I have the ability to record this meeting. The next option here is the participants. If I select this option, a window flies open and I can see the roster of all the participants. If I'm done using the roster, I can close it with the X and jump back to the full screen. And really, that's it. That should get you started with the WebEx Meetings experience. When you're done with your meeting, simply hit the red X. If you're the host, you actually have the option to both leave the meeting and end the meeting. I'm simply going to leave, and that is it for this meeting.